You won't want to miss Saltburn in theaters.
It's a beautifully wicked tale of privilege and desire, and it stars a killer cast, including Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi, and Rosamund Pike.
Written and directed by Emerald Fennell, it's the follow-up to her Oscar-winning film, Promising Young Woman.
Critics and audiences are calling it dark, twisted, hilarious, and sexy.
Don't miss Saltburn in select theaters on November 17th, everywhere Thanksgiving.
Rated R, saltburnfilm.com.
Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You will always find the best of what you love or something new to discover with Audible.
Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre, from bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business, and more.
I love to read. I read with my eyes all the time, okay? I'm in bed reading. I'll be standing up in the kitchen, finding myself getting a late night snack while I'm reading. But I don't only read with my eyes. I also read with my ears, okay? If I'm driving, why not have a book playing?
Yeah, audiobooks are so useful. I like to listen when I'm cooking because honestly, my hands are usually full with spoons and knives and vegetables and whatnot. So like audiobooks are the way to go, and Audible is what saves me every single time.
I have been listening to the Red Rising series, which is one of my favorites. I've already read them all, but now I'm going back and getting a different experience by listening to them, and it really is a dream. I love Audible. Try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
The mission: get your holiday gifts on time or your money back. The answer? Etsy. Whether you want home pieces like serveware and throw pillows or style items like handbags and knits, Etsy has it. New to Etsy? Use code HOLIDAY10 for 10% off your first purchase. Maximum discount value of $50. Expires December 31st, 2023. Terms at etsy.com/terms. To claim refund, see requirements and exclusions at etsy.com/legal/buyers.
Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on Yield Bravs. Hello, I'm Ronnie, and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Great, babe. So good to see you. How's everything going?
It's, going as well as it can on a beautiful Thursday morning here in Los Angeles. How's everything going for you?
Amazing. Do you have any problems today? Name them. Name them.
I do have some problems today, actually.
Name them. Name them.
I have a lot on my docket today. It's very annoying. I've got lots of busy work to do. I've got a lot of paperwork to do after we're done recording. I gotta fill out things and send things and write to things, and I'm just really not looking forward to it. Thank God for the show. It's so much more fun than doing actual paperwork.
I have to do actual things too. I have to do some tax stuff, which never ends. You pay your taxes, then they send you a letter like, guess what? You owe us even more money.
Yeah.
And there's a penalty because you didn't know you owed us that money. So now there's a penalty on that money. It's like, how about go fuck yourself? Also, you specifically, California. I'm still paying taxes in fucking California, okay? They just find a way to get you. I've been putting up with so much not being in California, okay? And now you're doing this to me? So anyway, that, and then I couldn't figure out how to get my license plate on my car, so I had to go to the car place and ask them. I'm like a helpless human being, okay? I can't do anything. Then I put too much pasta in a minestrone, so now it's just a whole pot of pasta. Which is still delicious. There's no complaints. But it's just like little banal, stupid things. Like, who are you going to complain to besides all of you?
Aside from a few thousand people who are captive stuck listening to this. I get it. I got my first bill for my whole medical brouhaha that happened last month. So I got my an ambulance bill. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this because it was out of my hospital network because it was on the East Coast. I'm here on the West Coast. So is ambulance covered by insurance? Is it not? I don't know what to do. Do I just wait for the other bills to come in? Are the ambulance people going to get mad? They're going to send collections after me if I don't pay it because I'm waiting to find out about insurance. I just don't want to deal with any of this right now.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much.
You should take it to a car dealership and be like, I can't do this. And they'll be like, we're sorry, sir. Let us help you.
They'd be like, if you buy this Mazda, we'll take care of this ambulance insurance. I'm like, sure.
It's too much. I just can't.
It's too much work. I'm stressed.
So, well, someone did send us correspondence when you were talking about how you went to the hospital because if you didn't know, Ben had appendicitis. It was terrible. He doesn't like to talk about it, but
I don't like to talk about it, but I did have one. I did have.
He has not mentioned it hardly at all. I had to force it out him. But he did have an appendectomy and was worried that he was out of state. But somebody said there is a law that your insurance has to cover emergency services out of state. So guess what? We're going to be sending that Patreon letter to you, health insurance. So suck it.
Did you say a Patreon letter?
Well, a letter from Patreon that we got on Patreon.
Oh, I see.
We're going to make them pay a membership fee to read the letter.
Excuse me, Kaiser Permanente, you're obliged to sign up for Crappens on Demand.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a friend of the show, Brenda Stanley. She's an author. Look at this. This is her
Wow.
book. This is on Crappens on Demand. She wrote a book. Okay, she's really talented. And it's a really good one. It's a mystery. It's called The Still Small Voice by Brenda Stanley. It just came out last week. We really like her. This is a nice person, and she's actually an extremely talented person. You should go read this. Get it wherever you get your books, okay? It's a very good family mystery. Not for the family, but it takes place in a family, and it's a great mystery, so go check it out, you guys.
Hey, as long as we're shilling people's books, I have a book I can shill also.
Wow, way to make Brenda feel special, Ben.
Well, no,
okay,
Brenda is very special, but also
Ben's like, I'd like to thank my friend Dean Koontz for the book.
So my good friend John Grisham, one of our listeners, but also a friend of mine, Justin Huang, he just published his very, very, very first book. I don't know when it's hitting bookshelves. I think it's hitting bookshelves now. Like he just opened the box of the books yesterday. I saw it on Facebook. So everyone go support Justin. He's wonderful. His book is called The Emperor and the Endless Palace. And it's like a fantasy romance. So he didn't even ask me to do that. I just saw it. I was happy for him. So, read both these books, people. You got time. Give them as gifts. It's not even an advertisement.
Emperor and the Endless Palace. I wrote it down. I'm going to read it.
Yeah, I'm going to read it too.
Justin's a nice guy. So yeah, Brenda Stanley and Justin Huang. There you go. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. This is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Day. We are also doing this on Crappens on Demand. Of course, I'm addicted to this laser thing on my face. I'm going to put it down.
Yeah.
What an episode. I have to say this is not one of the most exciting seasons in a traditional sense, but I'm loving it and I was laughing out loud. Also, a couple macros. Kyle's not making me as crazy, which is interesting. And I'm wondering if I'm being just a contrarian because why are there likes popping up on my screen? Do you see that?
Maybe we're public.
Are we?
No, we're not. I don't know why there's likes popping up on the screen.
Oh, there's a new thing on the Apple. The Apple thing that I guess emojis can pop up on your face. Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm having that kind of day to day. I don't know what I'm talking about, where I am.
It has zero. We have 0 viewers right now, by the way. It says 0 viewers.
As we've earned. Let me just say, as we've earned. So, okay, I'm liking Kyle. I don't like her, but I'm not disliking her. And I don't know if I'm being a contrarian because I've been so anti Kyle so many years when people were so pro Kyle. And then the past year or two, people have been anti-Kyle, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I really started a religion, and now I'm backing out now that there are believers. I'm like, yeah, she's not so bad. She's not really doing that much.
No, you're not alone. I am liking Kyle more. I actually found her to be very sympathetic this episode, and I think that Kyle, maybe we're both liking Kyle because Kyle is liking Kyle. I think that Kyle is being more authentic. I think that Kyle, she literally says it on the show. I mean, we've picked up on Kyle being kind of fakes from around season 2 or 3. We sensed that she was kind of chasing the public's approval, and I think that she's just given up at this point. And you can just sort of see it on her. And I think that she's actually being more relatable. I think that this is like, I wasn't necessarily on her side, but we'll get to it obviously with Sutton, but I liked that she just went over there and she was like losing her mind. Like that was like real Kyle. She wasn't like, I just feel bad. Like real Kyle is back, I feel like. And honestly, I will throw another wrench into the works, into the span
Erica,
into the
is it an Erica wrench?
Erica's not driving me nuts.
Erica's not driving me nuts either. Okay,
Like,
this is going to be a problem because first of all,
I'm like, am I liking Erica now? What is
first?
happening?
No, we're not. We can't leave Kyle yet because I have to just complain. I have to enter a complaint. Okay, I'm going to join Patreon just so I can leave a complaint. Entered. Sorry, I'm just trying to make that a thing for everybody who has a complaint. Here's my thing. I didn't like Kyle forever. You kind of liked Kyle. Then you came over to not liking Kyle. And now it's just been kind of a Kyle clobber on. And it's like too unbalanced. I don't like it. Like, I don't like that we're just so in agreement and hatred. And so now that I'm kind of liking Kyle, you're going to kind of like, you can't just do that. I decided to kind of like Kyle. You can't just decide you're going to be like kind of fine with Kyle now. That's not okay. Last week you were hateful of Kyle. And now all of a sudden you're just like, oh. Now I kind of like Kyle.
I mean, I still will be hateful. I still will be hateful because there's still things that she does that drive me nuts. But I'm like begrudgingly sort of seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm like, same with Erica. Erica's sort of being more like interesting to me. Like her conversation that she had with Crystal sitting down there, you know, at that restaurant by like the food court or wherever they were. And like that was, you know, I just felt like Erica was just being more interesting. Like, I didn't feel like she was putting on her bad girl persona, being tough. I thought she was just like talking like a normal person, you know, which I really appreciated. Also, perhaps most importantly of all, last week we had two separate debates. The first debate was, are they at Crawford's or are they at the Conrad? Well, it turns out, Ronnie, the answer is yes to all because Crawford's and the Conrad are all part of the same resort. So we both saw the signage somewhere and we both responded to that.
They're also a Hilton property. And that's very weird that they keep going to Hilton properties. And everyone's like, but the Hiltons don't even own those properties anymore. Well, they must have some kind of deal where they still advertise for them or get something because why are they always at Hilton properties? Or do you think Hilton's just like, hey, people know the Hiltons and they love the Hilton on this show, so let's keep advertising with them. I don't know.
I'll tell you the real answer. I looked up Resort World because I never heard of it before, and it's like the most expensive casino that's ever been built in Las Vegas. And they started construction on it in like 2010, so they probably are like, we spend a lot of money on this. We have to get it back. We are going to give free rooms to the Real Housewives and advertise the fuck out of this place. And if they need any assistance, you know, we're happy to also take some complimentary rooms. Just want to put that out there, Resorts World. The other controversy from last week, a big, heated, divisive controversy that almost tore this podcast asunder. Was it American Ballet Foundation or American Ballet Theater? The answer is yes to both, because Sutton said both. And someone even weighed in and said that American Ballet Foundation is the governing body of American Ballet Theater. But Sutton said both things, so we were both right on.
Well, her quote at first was, "I'm a member of the American Ballet Foundation. I will not." And like she ran out. So she did say foundation. She did. She thought it was theater. But then last night she was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy said that quote, and then she said, "Oh no, the American Ballet Theater." Oh, so she corrected him to theater, but she said it wrong the first time. So does anybody know?
But she did say theater later in the episode too. So the point is, Ronnie, we are like, it's yes and to both of us. Okay, there's room for both. There's space for both of our interpretations of the events.
Okay, so we are on one of the mildest Vegas trips I think that's ever been taken on a Housewives show. Very much. Actually, another show just went to Vegas and it was pretty boring, wasn't it? Who else just went to Vegas on the Housewives?
Well, like literally the entire Bravo population 2 weeks ago.
No, but on a vacation, like a Vegas trip. I think it was boring too.
Trip. They didn't go there on OC. They didn't go there in Jersey. They didn't go there in Vanderpump Rules.
Okay, it's in my head. American Ballet Theater Foundation. So I've never been this bored in Vegas, I have to say. This was a very boring trip, but I still had a good time. Weird.
It was a boring. They did boring activities, but I really enjoyed this trip for the show because I felt like the drama was hilarious. And we can all thank Sutton for that. Thank you very much. This is why I've always enjoyed Sutton, because she brings that neuroses that Beverly Hills has needed for so many years.
Yeah. So we open with Crystal with her glam squad getting ready for lunch. And she's boring them. I mean, let's face it. They're like, yeah. She's like, yeah. So yesterday I like called my husband and then I was like, oh my God, I went on stage. And then he was like, great, don't text me. They're like, same.
And then Erica's with her gang. She's like, I'm gonna look fabulous tonight. Crystal Connor's look. I'm gonna go for a Crystal Connor's look with Crystal on Crickles. And Mikey goes, that is Bashir. I was like, okay, sure. A little Yiddish.
What does that mean?
I think it's like kismet, like like that's so Bashir. It was meant to be. Or maybe, yeah. Or kismet's more luck. Bashir, I think it's more fate.
Well, now people are going to be mad at us. Okay, hold on. Let me look it up. Bashert. The term Bashert is most often used to mean a soulmate, the one person whom an individual is divinely destined to marry. The Jewish theory of soulmates has its root in that most romantic of canonical texts, the Talmud. Okay, everybody? Bashert.
But if you go to the Wikipedia, I see what you're looking at. Wikipedia, it says... it's like because I think it comes from matchmaking, but I think it's really just kind of said like it means destiny.
Preordained. Yeah, inevitable or preordained. If that's Bashert. That is also Amazon, I think, because in the crappy awards we wear something shiny and sparkly. I usually get a nice new Amazon sparkle jacket every year. That's my tradition. And one year I couldn't really fit into anything that I was buying, so I had to buy a lot of different things. And one thing I bought was this shirt that Erica it was $10. It was purple. It was not pink, but she had like a bodysuit made out of it. I think it's Amazon. I'm just gonna say. And even if it is Amazon, I want to give credit to Erica for just being like, fuck it. I'm just going Amazon now. That's where I'm at in life. But also, how's Erica affording a glam team?
For sure.
I don't like this whole like, I can't do anything anymore. It's just me, poor Erica, with nothing, no private jet, no nothing, just raw Erica, emphatic Erica. Empathetic?
Yeah, that, whatever the fuck that is. Erica, feeling Erica. I feel what other people feel, Erica. Okay, get the glam team on the private plane. Let's go.
How the fuck she's still paying everybody? Do you think it's part of her contract?
I think it's Bashir. I think it's destiny. They're meant to be together. When I have coffee, I inevitably always have to go to the bathroom, and I always call that Bashart. I had to go for a pun. I'm sorry, Ronnie. I know it wasn't for you. It was for people who appreciate a good pun. I'm sorry.
Really, really gross. So Garcelle and Sutton are with their Who cares? Sutton's like you, basically. I mean, not in the gross part, but they're with the Glam Squad, and this is something you would say. She's like,
I drank half a Coca-Cola. I'm just gonna warn you. I'd have Coca-Cola. I'm about to crack out.
Now, listen, I used to do a lot of cocaine. Okay, I've said that before on the show. It's not a shameful thing. I actually miss it. Love you, cocaine. Miss you. Wish you didn't give me a heart attack. Okay, but Ben is really a cokehead when he has even a tiny bit of caffeine. I once thought you were on cocaine when we first started doing the show. I was like, wow, I wonder if Ben's on cocaine. And then I kind of hinted around one night, like, well, maybe you want some cocaine. I'd never do that.
No, I'm on that straight Starbucks shit. No,
you really do get out of control. You get out of pocket. You're a paint out of pockets. What did you say the other day? I'm
going hard in the paint. I'm going hard in the paint with my coffee. That's my thing. That like I said it like 10 times on Crappy Hour. I'm going hard in the paint about this, everyone. Yeah, coffee,
like,
and I'm
literally going hard in the paint.
And I haven't had coffee in like 3 days, and I'm like very sad. I was gonna try to get some today, but then I didn't. So yeah, I got cracked out. And so Sutton, I guess, gets cracked out over Coca-Cola. So Garcelle goes, oh, God, you and caffeine are not good. Okay. All right, everyone, let's wind this show down and no more Coke for you. And everyone just like stops, like, what? Just Coca-Cola. Do you remember we were just talking about it 3 seconds ago? Get your minds out of the gutter, you glam squad.
So then we go to Dorit calling PK, and she's like, PK, look at the gorgeous sweet pool that we've got here. And she's showing the pool for PK. How are they letting Dorit into Vegas? I have so many questions. Didn't PK owe Vegas like $1 zillion, and they were after him forever? And I think he finally kind of paid it, but
well, maybe
how are they still not coming in and taking all the furniture out of Dorit's suite? That's
well, maybe
that's
he's paid it back handsomely with all the revenue he's generated from Peter Pan, the Pantone musical, starring Boy George and Dorit as the mermaid. So did you see that promo on Dorit's Instagram?
I'm going to be doing Peter Pan with my good friends, Boy George and George Boy.
That promo was hilarious because it was Boy George saying like, come join me for the Pantone version of Peter Pan starring me as Captain Hook and Dorit Kemsley as the mermaid. I'm like, the mermaid? The mermaid hasn't, people don't think, there's no character in Peter Pan that's like famous enough. There's no mermaid famous enough to be called the mermaid. There's a mermaid, I guess, in the cartoon. There are some mermaids, but there is no the mermaid.
Yeah, well, there is in this one. She has a very big role, and if you look it up, she comes on stage and people throw pies in her face.
Yes,
that's her.
Yes, we did a deep dive on this when you were at Bravocon. Ray Sani and I did a deep dive on Dorit and the pies, and she gets pies in the face while she's singing "My Heart Goes On," and a reviewer said that her performance was faultless. So honestly, I mean, I would see it. I don't care that it's a new role for the story. I would totally see it just to see Dorit singing "My Heart Goes On" will go on.
But also, how's Boy George allowed to do a child's theater thing? I mean, wasn't like, is he going to chain all the Lost Boys up to a radiator? I mean, listen, I know that some things are in the past, but some things are chained to a radiator. You know what I mean? I still don't think he should be doing children's theater. There, I said it.
But I mean, he's playing the villain.
Okay. I mean,
Captain Hook did that shit. If Captain Hook were alive these days and a real person, you know that he would probably
chaining twinks to the radiator.
Chain a gay escort to a radiator. Okay. So he's just in character.
Okay. I'll let that pass. So there's a lot of confusing things. Why Dorit has nothing repossessed while she's in Vegas, why there are not sketches of her all over Vegas, and why Boy George is allowed to do children's theater. Okay, so it's just the beginning. Nothing has happened in this episode. I'm already completely confused.
So then she's showing, basically Dorit is giving a tour of all the amenities and rooms and space that they're not using on this vacation. As they walk around, he's like, "Oh,
Dorit's
beautiful!
Like, welcome to my home. Me and PK built it. It's taken so many years." She just claims any place she's in now.
So she says that she and Kyle are going to have lunch, and she's like, "Oh, hold on. Gee, let me show you the theater that they have in here. Unfortunately, it does not look quite like Capri, but it'll be close." So they go in, and there's a whole home theater in this place, which is crazy. And then PK asks, like, "Magic Mike, how was that? Was it as good as Punta Cana? That's where you go." Magic Mike, call back. Magic Mike, that's where you go now.
Well, let me tell you, PK. I went to Magic Mike. I'd just taken out $10,000 and I put it on my purse in a grocery cart. Then I got hit on the face with a wiener, and the next thing I looked down and I was missing the $10,000. Okay, Dorit. Dorit's gonna find another way to file an insurance claim in the Magic Mike show.
The wildest thing happened to me when I was at the casino. I had brought in a giant stack of ones, to buy holiday gifts. And next thing I know, I looked down and it's gone. And when we looked at the security tape, 2 shirtless, muscular men had taken them and crammed them down their pants using my hands. I could not believe it.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens.
And here's your prescription. I know just the pharmacy to get this filled.
Who are you?
A pharmacy benefit manager. A middleman your insurer uses to decide which medicines you can get, what you pay, and sometimes even which pharmacy you should go to.
Why can't I go to a pharmacy in my neighborhood?
Because I make more money when you go to a pharmacy I own.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
This episode is brought to you in part by Purina. The holidays are here. It's such a fun and festive time, and also a great opportunity to reflect on all the things we're thankful for. And if you're like most people, your pet is somewhere at the top of your list. Purina is dedicated to creating richer lives for pets and the people who love them. From helping older pets think like their younger selves, to making cat ownership a possibility for more people than ever. Purina is helping pets live longer, healthier, happier lives. Your pet gives you so much the whole year round. So this holiday season, treat your pet with Purina Treats. Best-in-class nutrition, unsurpassed taste. From dogs to cats, Purina has you covered for all your treat needs. Your pet is Purina's passion. Head to Amazon.com/Purina to learn more.
Commercial. So then we see a flashback of the night before, and Dorit is telling him how upset Sutton got. And we see it. She's like, I am on the board of the American Ballet Foundation. I will not do that. Running out of the theater. And PK's like, you should have told her to go see Mary Poppins down the road. It's a good one, ain't it, babe?
Although I hear that one's not on roller skates, so it may not be worth the price of admission. So then Dorit's like,
Gee, Magic Mike is a huge show. People come in from all over the world to see it. I mean, there are no cream pies to the face, but, you know, it's pretty good. And so to have a friend of mine causing such a scene is mortifying.
Oh, okay. Has anybody ever been to a male strip show where the audience is ladies? Nobody is worried about behavior in there. Let me just tell you that. Okay. Those ladies go freaking crazy in those shows. No one's worried about manners at the Magic Mike show. Okay. Now, Sutton did act ridiculous, but she also sat through fucking Magic Mike on national TV to give those people publicity. So those queens can shut up. Seriously. All of them. Especially tickets. You, Elevator Magic Mike and Mikey, stopping your, which we'll get to later, but I'm sorry, very upset about it. Okay. Like, she gave you free advertising and you're going to sit here and bitch at somebody on an elevator. Get the fuck back in the elevator. You know who I don't want to get any lip from? A fucking go-go boy. Back in.
Also, first of all, the tickets were bought and paid for, so they got the money. Second of all, the amount of bachelorette parties that probably come through Magic Mike and probably, and by the end of the show, look exactly the same. It's probably every single night this happens, by the way. Because have you ever seen a bachelorette party doing some sort of activity? What always happens is you have the bachelorette, and then you have the girl who doesn't really like being there. And then like there's some drama, and then there's a fight, and then someone says something nasty, and then there's like tears, and then someone storms off. I guarantee this happens because then when someone storms off, someone has to go then after that person, then someone goes after that person to find out what's going on to report to the other group. This probably happens every single night at Magic Mike. This is nothing new for these dancers.
And yes, I know that this happens. Let me tell you how. Because I have been each one of those girls at different bachelorette parties, because I'm the gay that goes to all the bachelorette parties. I've been the one who says something shitty. I've been the one that gets too drunk. I've been the one that cries. I've been the one that storms out. I've been the one that chases the one that was stormed out. I've been all of these people.
It happens. Let me tell you something. I used to live right on the Sunset Strip here in Los Angeles, and you would go walking down the sidewalk.
Glamorous Los Angeles.
And you go walking down the Sunset Strip on a Saturday night, and this is what you would see. You would see like 3 or 4 girls, and one would have like the veil on, okay, and they'd be walking, but like the bachelorette would not look totally happy. And then you'd go maybe like 20 more feet, there'd be like 3 or 4 girls all sort of like murmuring together. And then you go like 20 or 30 more feet, and there's like 2 girls in the back of the pack, and one girl's crying and the other girl's like reassuring her. And you're like, okay, so this is the bachelorette party. Bachelorette's at the front. There was a fight with the girl all the way in the back, and the ones in the middle aren't sure which side to take. So they're just sort of gossiping and figuring out how they're going to handle the whole thing. It happens every single weekend.
Yeah, good times. God,
I know, it's so fun.
You know, I really wish that I still had some bachelorette friends. Those were the years. Come on, guys. You know, are we no longer inviting Rondell to the bachelorette parties? I could use a good one. Right? It's been a long time.
Still so much more fun than bachelor party, probably.
Oh, God. Bachelor parties are disgusting. I've been to those, too. Those are really horrifying. Really, when you see what happens, what straight guys do, yikes. It's not good. Much prefer the ladies every time. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next conversation. PK is talking about how he went to dinner with Maurizio last night. And he's like, we had a lovely dinner, babe, because we hadn't actually seen each other. He's been having a toughish year with Kyle. I've been having a toughish year with Lays. So we both discussed that, actually. You know, it's hard for him to open up to Kyle. It's hard for Lays to open up to me. You know, you'd think that a mass-produced food that everyone's supposed to be addicted to would be easier to open. That's all I'm saying.
Really ruffles my feathers, which reminds me, I also have a complicated relationship with Ruffles. So then we cut to PK and Mauricio having dinner. And PK is like, well, there's nobody that's been married that don't go through shit. Because he gets all like chimney sweep. He's like, oh, you don't... I got married. I go through a bit of shit once in a while, you know that. And some Mauricio's like, yeah, not a one. And like, you know, you're quite soft like that. You don't ever want to fight ever. You're like Tina Turner singing that song. And Mauricio's like,
I don't want to fight no more. You know, you're real Tina. Is that your karaoke then? I don't really want to fight no more.
It's time for letting go. So.
Let me tell you this much, Mo. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my sour cream and chives. We don't need another hero, right?
Sort of like what I told my bag of Cheetos. I'm your private dancer. Dancer for Cheetos.
Are you Cheetoing on Kyle then? Are you Cheetoing on her? So Mauricio's like, you know, look, I have no time to fight, okay? I have no interest in fighting. As far as I'm concerned, my wife's always right. And PK's like, well, she can't always be right then, can she, Mo? Yes, she can. And that's why their marriage will probably last.
Yes.
It's called a happy marriage, okay?
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, well, she can be right if I don't want to fight it. He's like, I've got bigger fish to fry. So then now we go over to Kyle FaceTiming Mauricio, who does not have his camera on, but I guess he's driving. So Kyle's like, so I heard you had dinner with PK last night. And he's like, yeah, we did. She's like, did you guys have fun? Yeah, it was a fun time. It was good.
Can you give me the girl version of that? And he's like, yeah, he was good. He was just talking to me a little bit about, you know, what's going on with him and Dorit, trying to get into a bag of chips. You know, it's kind of hard for him right now. You know, his fingers still had oily crumbs all over them. You know, I just felt for him, really. It's like, okay, well, did Portia make it to school on time?
Yeah, well, Jen took her, and I had like a board meeting this morning, and so I couldn't take her, and like, I'm gonna take her to school tomorrow, and made a wrong turn. Almost went to my mistress's house. I mean, In-N-Out. Almost went to In-N-Out Burger. Okay, have fun, love you, bye.
Listen, I'm gonna go put it in and then bring it out and put it in again and then bring it out again. Okay, just kidding. It's an In-N-Out then. Okay, bye then. Sorry. Bye. Even my MapQuest is bored with you. Bye. MapQuest. Do they still have that?
Maybe.
Okay, bye. So he basically hangs up on her, and she's annoyed. She's like, well, bye, thanks. So then we go to Garcelle and Sutton. Who cares? Okay, they're leaving. So then, so now we've got really weird couplings coming up on this show. This was, I think they were like, okay, guys, Lisa Rinna's not here to stir shit. We're just going to put you with a random partner today and see how it goes. So the first one is Erica and Crystal to go have lunch. Whoever saw that coming? Has this ever happened before?
It's bizarre. I feel like no one's had lunch with Crystal before. So Crystal, also, I don't know if Crystal's ever been to Vegas because she's like unsure if she's allowed to bring a cocktail through the casino floor. And I was like,
yeah, you can do whatever you want here. In Vegas, the rules don't apply. Like, they literally don't give a fuck here.
So they sit down and they order some food and everything. And they start talking about Sutton's meltdown a little bit. And, Erica's like, Crystal didn't see the meltdown, and Erica's like,
Yeah, I didn't see it either. All I know is we were having a good time. And then I kept looking to my left, and, then all of a sudden certain people were gone. That's all I saw.
And Crystal's like, same. I think she would have had a fun time if she was like called up first, but that's just the thing with her personality. Like she just goes so deep, and then it's like really hard for her to come back.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to give it undue life. Erica's in that place where she's not even, when Erica's like being fun, she's like, ha, fun, Erica, talk with the fun.
She's just like deadpan Erica now. She's like,
Okay, this is the Erica documentary. Well, I just talk like this in every single scene. It's a very serious actor studio, Erica, so this I didn't see it either, but, I'm not going to give it undue life. I'm in a place in my life where I've worked very, very hard to get to a place of peace, and nothing is going to disturb the peace in me. Crystal, nothing, Crystal.
Crystal's like, totally cool. Great
lunch.
Yeah, fun. So now we go to Sutton and Garcelle. They're getting a gondola ride in the palazzo. Like
oh my God.
There's like a fake canal in that casino. Yeah, which you probably just saw last week.
I've been a service worker since I was 15. Okay. And I'm not currently, unless you consider this a service. But until this, halfway through this, I was a service worker and a singer. Okay. A show tune singer. This is one situation where I recommend pushing the service worker and singer, who are in this case the same thing, into the water. Fuck off. Yeah. I'm trying to have a conversation here, sir. He's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm in the middle of a sentence, sir.
Yeah. He's like, hello, ladies. Welcome to Vegas. My name is Luca. Very nice to meet you. This is your gondola right here. And I have a hand here for whenever you're ready, ladies. So you can get in the gondola. So, like, Sutton's like, oh, okay. All right. I can do that. Do I have to wear pants for this, too?
I wore my pants just in case you want to do something to me, Luca. Okay? Hey, Luca, did you know that I'm on the board of the American Ballet Foundation Theater? You want to? Do it. What do you mean you don't? I wore pants for this, Luca.
He's like, sorry. So he's like,
go ahead, find your seat. First of all, that is not your accent. Okay, you can drop it, sir. Okay, I'm not giving you my credit card number. You can drop it. And he's like, Andiamo. How are you enjoying your time in Las Vegas? And Garcelle's like, we went to Magic Mike. Oh, of course you did. The best magic show in town, huh? I'd my salami, huh? Keep in your pants, Luca.
All right, well, you can just paddle along. We're gonna have a scene now. Thank you. So Sutton's like, how are you feeling, Garcelle?
Okay, well, go ahead. Have the conversation.
Well, I'm feeling a little unsettled. I think this morning was good. I just really needed to get that off my chest. I don't know if I trust you guys when it comes to... it wasn't received how I was hoping when I saw
I'm like the Beyonce of Italy. Watch it.
Well, hi, Luca. Hi. This is a real romantic conversation we're having right here, so... Well, he's singing. I didn't know that they sang. But, anyway, I was saying to Dorit, it's really hard for me to concentrate. What was I talking about? Anyway.
Push him in. Jesus Christ, just push him in already. I can't. So Garcelle's still holding on to her whole thing of like, well, I just don't know if I can trust these girls around my family. Who cares? I wouldn't trust these people around my family either. Don't do it.
Don't. Yeah. No problem. Move on.
Okay. So then we go to Kyle and Dorit having lunch, go ahead.
This was funny to me because they went to a place in the casino called Wally's, which is like a replica, not a replica, but when restaurants are like have a Vegas version. Wally's Prime, the original Wally's, is in Beverly Hills. That is actually the place where they went into the basement and Yolanda was like, ladies and gentlemen, Andrea Bocelli. So it's just like funny to me that they went all the way to Vegas to go to a restaurant in their neighborhood.
So let's see. So they just have, start having their little girl talk. And then why do I care? This whole episode, by the way, I'm reading my notes here and it's just all ordering. half this episode was people ordering. And I know that that's a big Housewives thing. And Andy has said in interviews like, oh my God, people love hearing what the Housewives order. That's what they want. So we do it in every episode. Okay, I get that. But this is a lot of ordering. Did you notice that?
Well, because we're multiple meals happening at once. As they split into little groups, that means there's more ordering to be had. So Dorit is saying like,
I'm tired. I'm tired. I mean, I didn't sleep again last night. And then I think, that conversation with Garcelle on top of the no sleep. I mean, it hurts me a little bit that she's mad that I'm so mean to her children. I just don't know. I mean, she has to be able to be honest, but I just feel like, wow.
Gee, you know what it's giving? It's giving a little bullying. It's giving a little bullying. I think that we're going to split a couple of things, waiter. The chicken salad and then the tuna melt. Thank you so much. Now, this tuna melt becomes another character. And
the tuna melt cracked me up. Tuna melt cracked me up.
One thing, sometimes when I can't sleep, I go to the Twitter. I go to like the the Housewives Twitter or whatever, and I just search a hashtag and I start reading what are people pissed off from because I love anger, like it fuels me. Yeah. So other people's anger feels really good too. So if I don't have my own, I'll go to Twitter because that's where you feed. That's a buffet of other people's anger. You know what people were talking about? Dorit eating the sandwich. It was a big thing all over the Twitter.
I can't believe that. I saw it. I thought it was hilarious. Because, we see her. First of all, it's funny that a tuna melt was even ordered on a Real Housewives show because I don't think a tuna melt has ever been ordered on Bravo. It's just one of those sandwiches that's like actually very delicious, but every time you hear it, it just sounds disgusting. The entire concept of a tuna melt is sort of gross. But they're talking
tuna melt, the concept of it is disgusting and it shouldn't be good, and it is so good. Why is it so good?
But like I was cracking up because at one point, Dorit takes her fork. And like you see her eating and you think she's eating a salad. So you see her fork going. And then when she lifts up her fork, it's an entire half of the tuna melt on the fork. And then she starts picking at it. And so I thought that was hilarious. But then people are online are like, how could you, like, this is like poor Dorit. Like she has a difficult relationship with food and da 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 da. I'm like, whether that's
has that
true or
ever
not,
been brought on the show? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to diagnose off of 3 seconds of footage.
I don't think we're supposed to be diagnosing that kind of thing in people.
It is a lot, right? But that being whatever it is, I think we can all agree it is hilarious that when you think she's eating a salad, when she lifts up her fork, there's a half slice of a tuna melt on it. That is universally hilarious to me.
Well, it's just how she did it. So she lifted up the half of the sandwich, and then she took it and she held it like facing the screen, right? Like facing the camera.
It was like tuna away. The tuna, like she was like a camera facing tuna.
And then she was pulling it, kind of pulling at it, but not eating it. But then her nails were all in the tuna. It was just a bizarre thing. And I don't know about anyone's relationship with food. I'm not going to I've never heard that. And I don't think it's right that anybody speculates. Oh, that's fucking weird. We're just talking about a tuna sandwich. Okay. It was all over the TV. It's on the show. And it's not even discussing her eating issues. It's discussing the way she eats. What a disgusting way to eat. It's just the bad manners. Okay. And if I'm not allowed to make fun of how people eat, then half of my Southern Charm recaps are out the window. So
I didn't find it to be disgusting. I just was surprised. I thought when that fork came up, it was going to have some romaine on it, and I was not expecting half a sandwich on it.
Here's my question. Do you think she knows what a tuna melt is? Because I feel like Dorit's like, you know what? We're on national television. I'm going to order something the people eat, which is tuna melt. I would have the tuna melt, please.
I'm getting into character. I'm playing a mermaid.
So,
could you please have someone come out and throw this tuna melt on my face?
It was, to me, it was up there with like a few years ago when she filled up a tea kettle from the nozzle instead of using the top of the tea kettle. And I thought that was a lot of us were like, who fills up a tea kettle that way? But then since then, I have done it once or twice. And sometimes it's just a little easier to do that one.
Over the last 10 years, Bombas has donated over 100 million socks, underwear, and T-shirts to those facing homelessness. If we counted those on air, this ad would last over 1,157 days. But if we counted the time it takes to make a donation possible this holiday season, it would take just a few clicks. Because every time you make a purchase, Bombas donates an item to someone who needs it.
Go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code Wondery for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/Wondery, code Wondery.
Here comes one right now.
Dorit has her own ways.
She has her own ways. Or like Nicole Kidman clapping. You know, sometimes we just see quirky things and we think they're funny. But yeah,
it's so funny that you would even have to explain that. You know,
well, but people
are like, here's why we're making fun of the way someone's eating this sandwich.
Well, because it obviously hit a nerve with several people, and you know, people have past experiences with things, and it maybe surfaces stuff. So I get that, but for me, I just saw half a tuna sandwich on a fork.
It was another character. This whole sandwich was a different character.
Kind of made my night.
And she's talking about trauma while she does it, which is just why it was even funnier, because she's like, cool. So let's talk. Now, you think this whole not drinking and distancing yourself, let's talk about that. Now, are you just trying to protect yourself, Kyle? Because obviously you had the trauma of falling out with your sister. That's very traumatic, Kyle. Very traumatic. Yeah, Kyle did that. Kyle did that to Kyle, okay? I think you can blame Kathy for a lot of things, but Kyle pushed Kathy all the way up into that breaking point. And then when she broke, she jumped all over her for that. And she's still crying about it like something was done to her. And then when they were having the whole I apologize thing, when she made Kathy apologize on camera, she secretly called Lisa Rinna over there to confront Kathy and had to admit it halfway through the scene.
Yeah.
Come on.
Kyle is not an innocent person in this. So then Kyle says, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but like, I don't know, like, but maybe also like, I just feel like I need to be really clear right now about everything. Which I don't really know what that means, but like, okay, sure, fine. So Dorit's like, listen.
Well, she's saying she's not drinking because she wants to be clear.
Right. But what does that actually mean?
I guess that she's not using alcohol to blunt her feelings. Instead, she's facing her feelings head on, I guess. I don't know.
I guess so. That's what I took from it. It's like still kind of vague. So Dorit's like, gee, listen.
I hope you clear when I heard it, but now that you're questioning it, it sounds vague to me too.
Well, it's just
because I'm a follower that way. I'm like, Ben, you know what? Ben doesn't get it, so now I don't get it in solidarity. I'm like, you know what, right? Ben, you're right. That's not clear. What does that mean?
No, it's just like one of those things that people say and you go, oh, okay, cool. But then when you really like drill down, you're like, so you need to be clear right now. Clear, like mentally clear. You need to be sharp. But what is it? Is there a situation that you need to be sharp about? Is it like, I guess I don't, it's not a criticism. It's more like I need further explanation. So,
well, I'll tell you this much. I've been sober-ish. Like I didn't quit drinking or anything. I did quit drugs, but I didn't quit drinking. I mostly quit drinking. So I just drink every once in a while. I used to drink a lot. So now I drink every once in a while. And I really thought it was going to improve so much stuff about like my personality or my thinking or laziness. It didn't really. But, I mean, I guess I don't have as many headaches, and my skin looks a lot better. I feel healthier in that way, but I'm still as fucked up as I was before, unfortunately. Okay. So I don't know, to martini or to not martini? That is the question.
I think so. Either way, Kyle just wants to. I'm assuming what she means is be more present in her life and just make, I guess, make decisions that are, I guess, healthier.
Being present in your own life is overrated. So Dorit's like, listen, I hope you don't feel like you have to justify. I mean, I'm just making little comments, Kyle, just little comments here. And she's like, well, you're not the only one. Trust me. Like, I mean, Maurizio said it. Sutton has said it. Like, a lot of people have said it. And Dorit tells us, I think Kyle's choice not to drink has allowed her to have more control over everything. It's a control thing, almost like bully. It's giving bully.
I mean, you're no longer drinking. You got 5 tattoos. You're working out. I mean, who works out anymore? Am I right? Seems to me like ding, ding, ding. Midlife crisis.
I love that Sutton looks at somebody suddenly working out a lot. It's a major flaw. She's like, oh my God. This girl needs help. She's working out. And Garcelle's like, well, I thought she was just going to take a break, but I guess she's really doing this mocktail thing, huh? I miss the old Kyle. Which, who says that?
I know.
Okay. She goes, not the splits, Just Kyle.
Which was funny. It's funny because when Ray and I were on, we were talking about how we were kind of feeling like this might be like Garcelle's flop season, but then she was really funny this episode, so maybe I retract the flop projection.
I think Garcelle's always just kind of been. I mean,
Like,
I find her enjoyable. Like, I like her as the Greek chorus, I guess, kind of reacting to everything. She's kind of the sane mind of the group, but I mean, let's face it, she's never really had that exciting of a season.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess in the group setting, group trips, she really shines. But then when things settle down and we have to follow her life, I'm like, don't love it.
but this was notoriously shitty to say, I think. Like, when somebody stops drinking, you're not supposed to say, like, oh, God.
I know. I couldn't believe
they have no personality. Now, that might be true. I know that with myself, I am different. And my friends feel the same way. They are always like, are you okay? They're still asking me. Like, if I don't have a drink, they're like, oh, my God, are you okay? And I think that they look at me as more boring without being drunk. And at first, it hurt my feelings. But then I realized it's true. I am more boring. But I think the only people who found me entertaining that drunk were other drunk people. And you know who's really annoying when you're sober? Drunk people. So I don't really know who's the winner here.
Well, Dorit's not helping because she's like,
No, Kyle, I mean this selfishly, but when I tease and I say, oh, Kyle, it's because we have 7 years of history, and when we go on trips and like this and that, you know, you and I kind of let loose, and then we do silly things and have fun, and I miss that. I'm not saying that you're boring now, but I'm just sort of saying I would rather spend more time with Crystal. So could we get a little drinky poo in your mouthy poo a little bit? I'm like, this is so. I think they're just perplexed because they probably felt like Kyle never had a problem, and so probably to them they're like, wait, what? Is this for real? You're not like, you didn't seem to have any issues, like.
Well, if you quit drinking, it is saying to other people they're hearing. I don't know if it's what you're saying, but what I think other people are hearing, just in my own experience, is that yes, I do have a problem. It's like me saying I have a problem with this, and it's something I had to quit. And then they're thinking, if I'm saying I have a problem and they didn't see it, then I'm saying that they have a problem because they drink just like I did, and they're still going to drink even though I'm not going to drink. So am I judging them for not drinking? And then do they have a problem? And do I look at them like I have? I think this reaction from everybody is very typical of a friend group.
Yeah.
It's a typical reaction 100%. From a friend group.
Yeah. And I think yes, it is. Because I think that, like, if Kyle had, was exhibiting signs of some like alcoholism and dependency issues, none of them would be saying this. Not to say that Kyle does not have those things, because we don't really know the story there. But since she wasn't, it just seemed like she was like a social drinker, and then all of a sudden she just stopped. That's why they're all like, but they still shouldn't be saying that at all. Like, they should be supporting her right now.
But we're also prescribing all this stuff to what Kyle's probably thinking, right? And I think Morgan Wade is sober. So Kyle is kind of at the end of the day, I think, you know what? She must be, because isn't that so Kyle to just be like, I'm going to do whatever my friend does. I mean, that's so Kyle. That's her person.
Good friend.
Morgan Wade, let me see. Morgan Wade is sober. If I didn't get sober, I wouldn't be doing any of this. Yeah, Morgan Wade is sober. So there you go.
Wow. Okay.
Not that it's any less valid. It's just more Kyle, It's like, Kyle. Of course, that's why. Kyle's trying to come up with these reasons that she did it without just saying, because Morgan Wade did it. Did you not see my 5 tattoos? One of them's a heart. Okay. So then Kyle goes into the most Kyle explanation ever. She's very flummoxed by this questioning. So she's like, yeah, but like that, like even before that, like I would have felt like, well, like I had to go out to drinks, because like I would expect that from you, like to go and have fun. Or I would say, pretend, order a club soda. Like I would pretend, and then there was like vodka in it, but I was like, I feel like I don't even need to have that anymore. You know what I mean? So like, this is who I am. And like, I don't like to just like take it or leave it like take it or leave it like. What?
No, if you don't like it, take it or leave it. Which I was like, actually, I really respected that response from Kyle, I have to say. She basically was like, yeah, I was like drinking to like, basically to keep up with you guys and to hang out. When she said that she sometimes had club soda and would pretend that there was vodka in it, I was like, oh, wow. Like, that explains why so many of her drunken antics seemed actually very fake to me. Also speaks to her fakery in general. But then it also made my heart break a little bit because she was not living an authentic life in herself. And I think it was actually nice to hear that she's like, fuck it. I don't want to be hanging out with people as much. I don't want to drink as much. Like, and this is what I've chosen. So get over it, bitch.
Yeah. Well, it makes more sense when you say it, because I just remember it being like really like, it's like, just don't drink. Who cares? Just say no. You know what I mean? It's
So
Nancy
what?
Reagan
Yes.
this shit. You know what? So what? Who cares? I don't drink. That's it. Get over it. So then Crystal, back to Erica and Crystal. Crystal's like, anyway, so I'm just really curious. Like, do you miss your old life? Of course she does. Does she miss the guy tripping over his balls and yelling at her for nothing? Probably not. Does she miss the private plane she had use of? Of course she does. Of course. So Erica's like,
Sure, thereabouts I miss when it was Christmas time, and I remember the warmth of all the gold sitting under the tree that I got to put on after I unwrapped it, and big bald Santa came down the stairs and left it for me and said, "Go to your room, Erica." Yeah, sure, I miss it. But at the end, Tom and I were fighting over everything, and I don't miss that.
and we see flashback to the dinner with LVP when Tom's like kind of flirting with LVP, and Tom says, "You have a great look," and Erica goes,
Yeah, great intellect.
and he's like, excuse me, Erica. This is me talking, not you talking, Erica."
Nothing was harmonious, but enough about my music studio. We had both descended into resentment for each other, and that is when your marriage is over.
So then Crystal asked her, like, can you go back to how it used to be? And Erica's like,
No, my life is forever changed, and I'll be forever changed, because going through something like this really shifts you inside, but I think I could start to have some fun and some normalcy. Now look at me. This is me having fun. Oh,
This is empathy, right? Am I doing it right?
am I doing it?
What if I put these tortillas on my head? Is that empathy? Look at me, I'm empathetic.
Oh my God, look at me. I'm feeling empathy on my forehead.
that's guacamole, Erica.
Oh, well. Can't
Hold
say I
on.
didn't try, all right.
Let me just use this empathy right here to pay for the bill.
That's your iPhone, and you're using
Empathy pay.
no Apple Pay.
Well,
Well, you know what? I understand empathy like I understand fun. Look, this is me feeling empathetic, and this is me feeling fun. See the difference?
Great talk. Glad we had this lunch.
Crystal's like, would you ever go back to that?
no, I would never go back to a life of living in a giant mansion with all the money in the world, funding a music career that really only exists in gay bars and some specific clubs. No, I would never go back to that beautiful, beautiful lifestyle. Never.
So then back at Kyle and Dorit's lunch, Dorit's like, I told ya, this is not a good year for me and my marriage. I know you said that you and Piquet had dinner with Maurizio last night, and Maurizio had said that to him. And Kyle's like, like a lot of it's just like it was harder, like what I was going through, like, what I was going through. I just wanted more understanding from him, So like, I don't know.
Also probably like he loves to go drink, and there's like a lot of business events where, I'm supposed to go and be the wife and be supportive. And like, sometimes it's like, I don't want to go to this party. Like Mauricio's in sales, and a big part of that is putting yourself out there and being social. And I'm in a place in life where I just can't sign any more autographs. I mean, there's so many Halloween fans out there. It's just too much. And I just would rather be at home reading reviews about my performance than going to an event.
It's like people weren't even just happy buying a home from Mauricio. They wanted to buy a home from the woman who broke her nose on a brick that Michael threw at her. You know what I mean? And it just gets hard. It just gets hard.
Yes, but if this is the direction that you want to go, and he's that, like, do you ever worry about your future? How do you sustain a marriage? Have you ever had Berlin perform in your kitchen?
So Kyle basically says that she's not really happy right now, and she's working on herself, and he's very focused on work. Now, I get this. I think salespeople going so hard, and especially him, like having to go to thing after thing. I mean, they're opening a new place in a new city every night. I wouldn't like that either, honestly.
And honestly, if she's having a major lifestyle change, like not drinking, like that, I mean, she's probably confronting a lot of emotional issues in her life at the moment. And, if she wasn't feeling supported and then she has to go and Like it probably
like
is
this,
hard for
honestly.
her.
I don't like this. I'm going to try something else on. This is too much liking Kyle. Okay. It's just too much. It's like, okay, we can like her, but then it doesn't have to be like, oh, my Kyle. And then, but also Kyle, I feel for her because it's too much. It's too much change too quickly. I'm not built like this.
Sorry,
I'm a creature who can't change.
I'm sorry.
Quickly.
You can still dislike her. I do think though that what she's saying, I was like, oh, actually that. Like a few episodes ago, I was like, God, Kyle's being like really bratty. She's like, Mauricio, I want to talk. Come on. Oh, I got tattoos. But I was like, okay, well, I can see where she is struggling here. And I believe it.
So she's like, I don't want to wake up in a few years and be like, wow, what are we supposed to do now? Like we're growing apart. And then Dorit's like, oh, yes, it's a work. It's a struggle, Kyle. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Marriage is like watching Piquet trying to get into some vinegar and salts. You know what I'm saying? I don't, actually. The chips, Kyle. The chips. It's very confusing.
So then now we're back at the Glam Squads because it's been, 2 hours since they've had glam. So it's time for more glam. So, Garcelle and Sutton are getting their glam on. It's not appealing. And then Garcelle talks about how she had lunch with Oliver. And Garcelle's like, Oliver was shown kissing Raquel. And then just basically Oliver's like, it's just unfortunate because people are seeing me in a different light than what it really is. I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm a good guy. Pretty chill. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, what kind of explanation is that? It's like, yeah, it's just unfortunate. God, people just see whatever they want to see. I think it might have to do with your ex posting all that stuff while it was airing. So talk about that. I mean, I say, look, if you're going to deny it, you need to deny everything. I don't just want a black and white scene of Oliver, like, the people just didn't get it. And Garcelle's like, yeah, I love you. People just don't understand, do they? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's swept under the rug. Next.
I know, right? So now Erica and Crystal are in there with their squads, and they're all getting dressed up to go to a country bar. And Erica's like, I haven't been to a country bar since my great grandmother died, and we rolled a bowl all night long.
Is that how she died?
I know. What happened first?
I mean, what a way to say it.
I haven't been to the country bar since my grandmother died and we rode a bull all night.
What, is there footage? Like, what the hell happened? And that brings us to the end of this two-parter. Come back for the second part.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch, it's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Today, hip-hop dominates pop culture, but it wasn't always like that. And to tell the story of how that changed, I want to take you back to a very special year in rap.
88, it was too much good music. The world was on fire.
Yeah. I'm Will Smith. This is Class of 88, my new podcast about the moments, albums, and artists that inspired a sonic revolution and secured 1988 as one of hip-hop's most important years. We'll talk to the people who were there. And most of all, we'll bring you some amazing stories. You know what my biggest memory from that tour is? It was your birthday.
Yes, and you brought me the Sade life-size cardboard cutout.
This is Class of 88, the story of a year that changed hip-hop.
Listen to Class of 88 wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge the entire series right now on the Amazon Music app or Audible.
It's almost that magical time of year.
Speaking of, what's your favorite Christmas story, Ben?
Hands down, The Grinch.
Same.
It cracks me up that he hates all the merriment.
Right, and he steals everyone's presents.
But then it's like so heartwarming at the end when like the whole town is still singing and he realizes that there's more to Christmas than just gifts.
Oh, I know. It hits me right in the feels.
Best part is, Wondery has a new podcast starring The Grinch. And I think there's someone who wants to tell you more about it, Ronnie.
Hi, it's me, the Grand Poobah of Bah Humbug, the OG Green Grump, the Grinch. From Wondery, 'Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show is a pathetic attempt by the people of Whoville to use my situation as a teachable moment. So join me, the Grinch. Listen as I launch a campaign against Christmas cheer, grilling celebrity guests like chestnuts on an open fire. Your family will love the show. As you know, I'm famously great with kids. Follow 'Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.